Welcome to results for the round 3 of RADOTAAV, or Research and Development of Tanks and Armored Vehicles. Now, I'm trying something new with a video format for the results of a competition, so I hope it will work out in the end. Before we get to the actual, winners of the round in each category and the overall winner, there are a few things I would like to address first before we can continue any further. First, there seems to be a little bit problem with the challenges as I'm kinda sending mixed signals. So to make things more, or should I say this, understandable and that there is no confusion, the names of the challenges will be renamed from primary and secondary to mandatory and optional challenges. The names are self-explanatory. Mandatory challenges, aka currently primary challenges. If you see one or multiple or choose one, you have to do them, and optional are if you want to do them for extra points. Now when it comes to the actual judging, I currently have managed to settle on what works and what doesn't work, I have settled for most things except for the exceeding criteria, because it's kinda hard for me to, do it in the current state. But know that for the most part I settled on what I like, what works. The main issue now just lies with me balancing out so that one category doesn't feel like it's more important than the other. There's also something new that I've tried, and that is a poll with, what I would like to see for a round, and maybe you. Essentially, I give 5 or 6 options for a round, and you vote on it. I already did this. I'm probably posting on the screen the results. We had amphibious, engineering, and whatnot, and no insult to those who voted, but the least interesting one, which is a dedicated tank destroyer, so something like a Stug, NASA, or a M10. Like, come on, airborne tank dropped by a blimp. How did that have so little votes? Come on. Plus, the TD option won by 18 votes. I kinda don't think 18 people will enter for round 4. It's just a little bit hunch. Anyway, with most things, I hope, out of the way, I mean, if I didn't mention anything, I'm probably still going to, you're going to see it in round 4. But besides that, let's get into the actual results. Starting with the proving ground. At 5th place, we have the GMCT Model 7 Mobile Artillery by uMineTurtle_127. In 4th place, we have the Model 1920 Mobile Howitzer System by Definitely Not Moose. In 3rd place, we have the Chariot Hugs, or HAGC 12.5 ton 203 by Woostark Dylan. In 2nd place, we have the Heavy Barrel M1 SPG by an unknown redditor, but I'm gonna go from the name by his Gmail, Daniel MacArthur. And in the 1st place, we have the S203 Art 1 by Oscar_meow. Now, for the most part, it is very good with what it was given, considering that it also carries a 203mm. And honestly, in the proving rounds, for the most part, it is about mobility and how it can maneuver. I have created a completely different, category which deals directly and only with combat. So proving grounds is only mobility. Well, for the most part, but, And mobility the S203 has. It can cross any trench, and it has a very smooth riding over the little obstacle bumps that are like in small, medium, and large. Not to mention that it can climb a 25-degree hill, which is quite impressive, especially in the interwar era, and it is one of the fastest at 28.7 km per hour. Onto the visual/aesthetic category. In 5th place we have the heavy barrel M1 SPG by Daniel MacArthur. In 4th place we have the T20 by Lego Dude LOL 9A. In 3rd place we have the GMC T Model 7 Mobile Artillery by MineTurtle_127. The 2nd place is held by 2 people, 2 entries. Those are the Chariot HAGC 12.5 ton 203 by Stark Dylan and the S203 Art 1 by Oscar_meow. And finally, in the 1st place, we have the Model 1920 Mobile Howitzer System by Definitely Not Moose. And I mean, while many did not make their designs detailed, and the Model 1920 has around the same detailing as everybody else who entered, it also has some interesting features. Well, the Chariot by Stark is the most alien looking. I have a feeling that this is kinda not very area appropriate. That being said, the Model 1920, the most noteworthy thing is that it has a Dreadnought era style turret on it, which is an interesting concept, and it does make the Model 1920 look a little bit nicer overall. Well, that said, we're going to the sales pitch. In 5th place we have the T20 by Lego Dude LOL 9A. In 4th place we have the S203 Art 1 by Oscar_meow. In 3rd place we have the GMC T Model 7 Mobile Artillery by MineTurtle_127. In 2nd place we have the Model 1920 Mobile Howitzer System by Definitely Not Moose. And in 1st we have the Chariot HAGC 12.5 ton 203 by Stark Dylan. Now, for this, very close to perfection. It has a great story, it has a very good sales pitch overall, with pictures and little details, and overall great, I don't know how to just say it in words, it's just a very good sales pitch, with great presentation, great, well, the structuring could be a little bit better but for the most part, it is also very good. Now, before we continue with the overall winners, how I said in the beginning of the video, while I've shown here 3 categories, in truth there are 6, but mostly they're just more of a background and it's not really, well, how should I say this? We have the general combat test, which are scenarios like dunes and stuff, which give you points if your design can complete them. We also have challenge bonus points earned, depending on which challenge you did, so there is no real reason to show them, or exceeding criteria. Again, that's the only category that I really need to restructure so they can fit better. But for the most part, that is that. With all that said, let us go into the winners of this round. Since there is only 6 entries, we can start from the 6th place. In the 6th place we have the T20 by Lego Dude LOL 9A. In 5th place we have the Heavy Barrel M1 SPG by Daniel MacArthur. In 4th place we have the GMC T Model 7 Mobile Artillery by MineTurtle_127. And now onto the top 3. In 3rd place we have the Chariot HAGC 12.5 tons 203 by Stark Dylan. For the most part, it had a great sales pitch. Its mobility was very decent and good in some aspects, but it's a weird design, not fitting really with the era, and overall here and there little tweaks could have bumped it up higher. Now in the runner-up or second place we have the Model 1920 Mobile Howitzer System, by you, definitely not Moose. Now this, when I was tallying up, when I was done with judging, tallying up all the points, the Model 1920 was 1 point short from getting, or at least sharing, the first spot. Overall, if it was just a tiny bit faster, maybe the sales pitch could have added a few interesting images, it could have no problem won this round. It's a pretty decent design with a very good sales pitch, but once I added up the points, I couldn't really do much anymore. With all that said, the winner and the first place in round 3 of RADOTAAV, Mobile Artillery Makes a Big Boom, is the S203 Art 1 by you, Oscar Meow. Now overall, the majority of this was carried by its proving grounds capability, and overall it is an interesting design overall, as it is a truck with a gun, and I like myself a truck with a gun. And while overall it was good, the only category to lack a little bit in was the sales pitch. If the sales pitch was a little bit better, it could have gotten more points, but overall I tested out and it's a pretty good machine. So congratulations Oscar Meow for, if I remember correctly, the second win. With all that said, this is a little bit new to me, so that's why it is taking so long, re-recording, editing and everything. Not to mention that experimental branch might be going live soon, so we shall see with that. So round 4 might be delayed by a day or 2, just so it can be with the new stuff, if it's going to be this close. Another thing is that I have planned for this first season, so to say, to have 4-5 rounds and to test what works, what doesn't. And you might be asking, why didn't you do that from the start? Why didn't you do everything you wanted from the start? Well, I wanted to have a foundation. I wanted to, okay, this is how a good judging system should work for me. Okay, this is how I should set up the rounds. Okay, this is how I should do the challenges, for example, so on and so forth. With the next round I might be adding something new, and this constant developing that no 2 rounds so far have felt the same out of all in the next round. So these 4 rounds that are going to be won't feel exactly the same, at least not on the surface. And I want to, build up, so when season 2 and so round 6 and all that, after a little bit of a break, after taking back a step and looking at everything, I will have a good foundation, and on that foundation I can do more interesting things, more daring challenges, weirder weapons and stuff, maybe some new thing that is going to be besides challenges, who knows. But that is all. I'll see you in round 4.